fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 1998 film Futuresport, starring Dean Cain, Wesley Snipes, Vanessa L. Williams, and J.R. Bourne. But first, a word from our sponsors. An overview of the movie? In the year 2025, after losing the championship game, Futuresport superstar Tremaine Ramsey is attacked by a terrorist group known as Hilo as they try to break Hawaii away from the North American Alliance. After other attacks by Hilo, the Alliance is ready to go to war. However, the Pan-Pacific Commonwealth says they will intervene militarily on behalf of Hawaii. Since Futuresport was originally created to prevent gang warfare, Ramsey decides to challenge the Commonwealth to a game against North America with the Hawaiian Islands as the prize. The pros of this movie? First of all, I think this is an interesting idea for a movie. It's something that's been floating around in my head for a while, at least since I was a little kid. And then I saw it, using this sport to prevent a war. That is just fantastic. It's a great idea. It's one high-stakes game instead of this bloody war. It's a great idea. It's a great concept. It's really easy to get behind as far as an idea and as a story. It's very interesting. It's fascinating. And these characters are enjoyable to watch. Also, the game of Futuresport is so exciting, in my opinion. I really enjoy it. It's the highlight of this movie. They're just flying around on these skateboards and rollerblades and hitting each other with these big metal sticks and trying to throw this ball into a hole and get a lot of points. It's exciting. It's fun to watch. It had me on the edge of my seat the first time I watched it. I mean, yes, it's limited by budget constraints. It's a low-budget movie, so it's going to be limited. The special effects aren't fantastic, but it's still exciting to watch this sport of Futuresport. That's easily the highlight of this movie, is just this game. It's exciting. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You're wondering what's going to happen. You're cheering for these guys. Well, you're not so much wondering what's going to happen because it's an underdog sports movie in a way, so you know who's going to win. But still, it's exciting. These games are exciting, and they get you invested in them. The cons of this movie? Well, first of all, this is clearly a made-for-TV movie that they just later on added stuff on to get it an R rating. You got people sitting here talking about, yeah, we're gonna kick these guys' butts, and they don't have a chance about us. And then later on in the movie, they're saying fuck, and they're showing topless women. And then later on, they're talking about kicking each other's butts and how people are jerks and mean and stuff. It really just drives home that this was a made-for-TV movie. That later on, before they released it on video, they added stuff to it to get an R rating, and it just makes it makes it feel awkward. It makes the dialogue feel weird. It really would have been better if they would have just left it as the made-for-TV movie and not try to get it an R rating. It would have been better. It would have felt more realistic. It would have felt more normal. Instead, it's just the dialogue feels awkward because there's no consistency to how, for lack of a better term, foul language is being used. There's no consistency. Also, let's be realistic. Anytime you have Dean Cain as the top billed actor in a movie, the acting isn't going to be great. It's going to be bad. And so is the case with this movie. Ironically enough, the worst actor in the whole movie was Wesley Snipes. He had this fake, I don't know if it was trying to be Jamaican or something. It seemed like it was trying to be Jamaican. A lot of people say it sounded racist, but really to me it just sounded like he tried to do a Jamaican accent and had no idea what a Jamaican accent sounded like. It just felt weird and awkward and just unnatural. And he was easily the worst actor in the movie, but almost all the acting in this movie was bad. Really, all of it was bad. Also, the sets in this movie just looked odd. And by that I mean, okay, this movie was filmed in, I think, Vancouver, Canada. The locker room scene in this movie was filmed in a library in Vancouver. And it looked like a library. The locker room looked like a library. I mean, you had freaking maps and charts on the walls and learning aids and stuff. Yeah, it looked like it was meant to look kind of futuristic and stuff and fancy, but you had learning aids and geographical maps on the wall and charts of the human body and anatomy. It looked like a learning center, not like a locker room. It looked exactly like what it really was. They didn't do a good job of just transferring it into what it was supposed to be. All the sets looked awkward and strange, like that's not really a locker room. It looks like something else, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, it's a library. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or like this is supposed to be the lobby of some arena, but it doesn't look like an arena because they got weird vases with flowers and stuff. Oh, it's actually a hotel. That makes sense now. But they were trying to say that it's an arena, but it actually was a hotel. So that makes sense why they have those vases of flowers and stuff. All the sets were like that. It just felt strange and awkward. And the biggest thing about this movie, I'll give it this. It was made in 1998, and it was a low budget made for TV movie. But the CGI in this movie was just laughably bad. I mean, seriously, just horrible green screens. You could tell it was clearly fake. It was poorly animated. It looked like some high school kid doing a film school project or something. It looked clearly fake. It looked clearly unnatural. It was clearly a digital effect, and that was just bad. I mean, it might have been mediocre for the time, but it did not age well at all. My overall thoughts on the movie? First of all, people accuse this movie of being a ripoff of the Rollerball remake, but that's just not true. Futuresport was made in 1998, and the Rollerball remake came out 4 years later. That being said, this is a bad movie, and that's why I love it. I give this movie 2 thumbs up. This is one of those movies that's enjoyable because you sit around and you make fun of it. The only part that was genuinely enjoyable was the games of Futuresport because they were just so much fun to watch. This is a fun movie to watch if you don't take it seriously, and that's why I recommend you check out Futuresport. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.